Never gave a fuck about a dollar. More money, me, more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And now running right through it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. A loss of 2.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Looking deep for Julio. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Get up! 12! Hey, Tuesday!
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35.
a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Gun.
Third and long, it's Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll get them a little space here up to the 5-yard line.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Ted Ginn's going to go. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 95 yards, and the Saints have taken the early lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Kenyon Barner, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And now running right through it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just. That one as it progresses. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Patriot!
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Hill. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On 2nd down, here's Hill. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is caught inside the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The Saints had 23 rushing touchdowns last year, most in the league, and they've got Kamara back there on 2nd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrink. Even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Hill. They'll roll him out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. First NFL pick for the rookie Isaiah Oliver. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
Ready, back 25. 11. Ready, go.
Now Ryan on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hey, gun. Space. Wait for that.
On first down, Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. He's airing it out for Sanu. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 46 yards. Clock running under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
21.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Gun. 20.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Fourth down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Third and 2. Hill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Fielded at the 33. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. The second quarter score from KC. And the 49ers have scored again, really extending that lead. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up first and 10.
Hey, South. Here we go.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a third and 2 more.
20. Hey, Tuesday. Gun. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down.
11.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that...
And got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Flush to his right. Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Hill now on second down. Buying time to his left. Looking long for Thomas. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Thomas, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down. Out of the gun, Hill. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Left.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And Freeman, not sure if he was a surprise exactly, but he sure took the NFL by storm.
But when you talk with his team, they'll tell you they saw this coming. They knew he had the talent. They were just ready to turn him loose on a full-time basis, and he took full advantage of it.
And now one of the most electrifying runners in the game today. Dancing to his left. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. The second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. First and 10, Hill forced out to his left. Looking long for Thomas, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
No, check. Patriot.
Hill going back to the air on second down. Steps away to his left. Fancy footwork at the 45. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Here's Hill. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone!
To throw again. Hill. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Lutz good on the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And an alley to run. And he's loose again. 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Kenyon Barner, 104 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Again, help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games at a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was...
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 44 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Detroit!
Hill looks to throw. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Saints are back within a score. And he puts it through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he spins free. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Freeman again, a first down carry. Finds a seam inside the 40. And down right around the 37. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down. Ito Smith, his first carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on second down is Hill. Complete to right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to... This is caught at the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Hill now operating from the red zone, eluding the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Hill buying time to his left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Running on 4th, it's Zach Long. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Hill. Flushed out right. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now Hill on 3rd and goal. Dancing to his left. In trouble, and he's taken down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Forced out to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. The spin, and he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
This time, Ryan will throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Wiggles free. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there. Jones, 47 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Gun.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Freeman. A gain of 8 and a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
21.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive, and also give them a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from early.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that
he's got a man complete. That one goes for 36 yards. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Here we go.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Steps away to his left. Looking deep for Julio. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And if the late touchdown wasn't bad enough, now they're going to go for two. So sportsmanship nowhere to be found right here. From the gun, it's Ryan. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.